What is going on, guys? Bruin Steel here, and welcome back to another WWE broadcast. I'm your host, Bruin Steel. I am once joined by Canadian Yorker, and we are here to make our Money in the Bank 2024 pay per view prediction video. So, Money in the Bank in Toronto, Canada will be taking place this Saturday. So, we will be making our predictions right here, right now. So, how are you doing tonight, Canadian Yorker?
I'm doing great tonight. I'm a little tired from taking care of some business today, but other than that, I'm doing awesome. Just enjoying the wonderful week we got.
All right,
How about
so Money in the Bank predictions. I'm excited for Money in the Bank. It's actually one of my favorite pay-per-views in WWE because ladder matches. I just love ladder matches in general. They're just exciting to see. They're intense. So we got the men's and women's. So you get the briefcase. You are guaranteed an opportunity at a championship match in the future. So you have a certain amount of time to cash it in. So we'll see what happens. So let's get started. So we're gonna start off with the regular matches. We're gonna leave the men's and women's ladder match to last because Money in the Bank you have to leave the two ladder matches at the end so to make it exciting. So let's talk about the regular matches first. So let's get started. So as always, Canadian Yorker is going to share his predictions first, and then I will share mine right after. So let's get started. So the first match we're predicting is the World Heavyweight Championship match, last chance match. Damian Priest defending the World Heavyweight Championship against Seth freaking Rollins. Something that I did not expect. Seth Rollins obviously coming back from taking a break, and all of a sudden on an episode on Raw, Seth just came out of nowhere, and Damian Priest gave him a title match. But a little twist, some stipulations saying that if Damian Priest retains his title, that means Seth Rollins will never challenge for a title ever again as long as Priest is champion. And Seth wins, if Seth Rollins somehow wins, that means Damian Priest must leave the Judgment Day. So high stakes in this match. So I have high emotions. There's so many matches that I was concerned. I didn't know who to pick, but this is one of them. So I gotta figure out who I want to choose. But I'm gonna give the floor to you, Canadian Yorker. Intense. The money is on the line in this match. You heard the stipulation. It's gonna be crazy. So Damian Priest defending the title in a high stake match against Seth freaking Rollins. What are your thoughts and what is your final prediction?
man? It is tough to see that this happened. Damian Priest could have chosen any other challenger to be the challenger for him to face him at Money in the Bank, and he chose Seth Rollins out of all people to be that guy. Um, I think the reason why Damian Priest chose Seth Rollins is because Seth Rollins he said himself, oh excuse me, he wanted to cash his Money in the Bank in on Seth Rollins, and we would not be here if Damian Priest had not cashed in on uh, if Damian Priest had not cashed in on Drew McIntyre to win the world championship, and he did. So the rest is history. So Damian Priest is giving Seth Rollins a chance so that to win his title back because Damian Priest believes that he can beat Seth Rollins without the help of the Judgment Day, and he doesn't need the help of the Judgment Day to beat Seth Rollins. Um, he's a big dude. He can take care of himself. Um, the problem with Damian Priest is that the Judgment Day is going to help him win, and at the same time, the Judgment Day can also help him lose. They can help Seth Rollins beat him, get the title, which would be a crazy turnaround. I mean, obviously, it's been boiling up to this. If Damian Priest is going to turn on the Judgment Day, or is the Judgment Day going to turn on the Damian Priest, because Damian Priest really has been giving off a lot of facey vibes, and he's going to turn face and become a face of with the World Heavyweight Championship on his side. So I believe on a one-on-one situation, Damian Priest definitely has the advantage going for him. Seth Rollins is still recovering from his injury, his back injury. He's still recovering from, I believe, leg injury from WrestleMania. That was only a few months ago, 4 or 5 months ago, when Seth Rollins was in WrestleMania and he put everything on the line to help Cody Rhodes beat Roman Reigns. And he's still in. So he had that surgery on his back. He had the knee surgery. So he is definitely, we don't know if he's 100% or not. So I'm gonna give, because of that, I'm gonna give this to Damian Priest to win against Seth Rollins, even though he's not 100%, but he's about 85-90% there, but he is not 100%. He hasn't really had time to recover. So I don't know how good he is. We don't know how good he is. I'm gonna give the edge to Damian Priest.
All right, so you're locking your pick in, Damian Priest to
That's my
defeat.
locked in final pick. Yep.
Yeah, it's tough because this match can go either way. I feel like obviously Seth freaking Rollins is recovering from injury, and honestly, whoever wins this match faces Gunther at SummerSlam. It could work either way because Gunther, I would say Gunther has kind of have some history with Seth Rollins. He had some promos with Seth Rollins talking about how Gunther claimed that he was going to win the Royal Rumble and challenge Seth at WrestleMania, but that didn't happen. But we could see Seth Rollins versus Gunther. People are saying that that's the better matchup. People are going to be like, oh, Seth is going to hold on to the title for a month and then drop it to Gunther at SummerSlam, so anything can happen. But looking at how the Judgment Day is right now, it looks like Finn Balor had enough of Damon Priest. It looks like the time is near for Damon Priest to get kicked out of the Judgment Day. I don't know if that's gonna happen at Money in the Bank. That could easily happen. I mean, there's the stipulation thing that if Seth wins, then Priest must win. Priest might has to lose. Priest has to leave the Judgment Day. So we have to see what happens. But I just feel like maybe despite the stipulation, Damon Priest will get kicked out one way or the other. So I can probably see Finn coming out anyways to screw Damian, even though Damian told Finn, I gotta handle this on my own. Um, I was a little hesitant. I was gonna pick Seth because I feel like Seth versus Gunther will be better. But, I just feel like maybe he needs more time to rest, and I feel like Damon Priest versus Gunther is the storyline to go. I just feel like even though Damon Priest is gonna retain, I still think that he's gonna get kicked out of the Judgment Day. He might not even get kicked out that early, like he might not get kicked out at Money in the Bank. We could see Damon Priest getting kicked out along with Rhea Ripley, so we might not see Damon get kicked until Rhea Ripley's back because it looks like Finn is making a plan once Rhea Ripley comes back. Finn and Liv Morgan, we were talking about how they could possibly, be working together, hashing out a plan to kick out both Damien and Rhea. So I guess the ideal time to do that is when Rhea comes back. So we have to see what happens, but anything can happen. But for now, I think Seth, look, I don't think it's ideal for Seth to take the title off Damon Priest and then lose it to Gunther. I feel like Damon is the guy that could possibly go into SummerSlam and uh, face against Gunther. But we could see Damon Priest retaining, and then SummerSlam could be the time when Judgment Day could screw Damon Priest, costing him the title, making Gunther win the title off Damon's, making some arguments. So we have to see what happens. But I'm locking my pick in. I am picking Damian Priest to defeat Seth freaking Rollins. I know people are saying, "Oh, Seth versus Gunther might be the better match," but I just feel like Damian might just win clean here. I don't think people are saying that Money in the Bank is the time Finn's gonna betray Damian Priest. It could happen, but I just feel like it's gonna happen later when Rhea Ripley returns. I just feel like they're gonna kick both Rhea and Damien at the same time. So I am picking Damian Priest to beat Seth Rollins to retain the World Heavyweight Championship. Before we get to the next match, any thoughts about what I said or?
I agree with you that Damien and Seth Rhea are going to be kicked out of Judgment Day. And honestly, after what Rhea did to Liv Morgan, she injured Liv Morgan's shoulder. She tore her rotator cuff. She basically messed up her entire shoulder. You know, I mean, Rhea Ripley has had this coming for the longest time. She's losing everything that she is, and she is the leader of the Judgment Day. She lost the championship. Now she's losing Dominic Mysterio. She's losing everything. Liv Morgan is taking everything away from Rhea Ripley, just as she told her, and that will complete Liv's revenge tour. I definitely think that any time between Money in the Bank and SummerSlam, I mean, the turn from the Judgment Day turning on Damian Priest could definitely happen anytime between Money in the Bank and SummerSlam. So it can happen pretty quickly because, I mean, let's face it, if Seth Rollins wins, um, let's say that Finn Balor is still pissed. We saw how pissed off Finn Balor was that the fact that he had to vacate his title because he got injured by Seth Rollins. Okay, and he is still pissed at Seth Rollins for that. Finn Balor will always have an eternal beef with Seth Rollins because of what Seth Rollins did to him. Okay, and if Damian Priest loses to Seth Rollins, you can only imagine that the Judgment Day is going to turn on Damian Priest because of him losing to Seth Rollins. I mean, he keeps it just. I mean, I can sense a betrayal coming. Finn Balor is definitely going to betray Damian Priest. Or Damian Priest is definitely going to betray Finn Balor one way or another. Yeah. Finn Balor is jealous of Damian Priest. Seth Rollins is correct.
Yeah,
Finn Balor is
like
jealous.
I just feel like
the fact that he's tag team champion, he could have been world champion. Is what it is.
Yeah, all right. So we both locked in Damian Priest. Hopefully we're right. Hopefully this betrayal doesn't happen as soon as we thought it was. I mean, I kind of said the Judgment Day we're gonna turn on Damien earlier, like it's a build up, you know, but we'll see what happens. But let's talk about the next match. I just want to get all the regular matches before we talk about the Money in the Bank ladder match. But the next match we're going to talk about is a singles match for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. And oh my God, this one was a tough one. I was a little hesitant, but Sami Zayn will defend the Intercontinental Championship against a really hungry and intense athlete in Bron Breakker. So Bron Breakker showing that he's unstoppable, he's scary, he's intimidating. But Sami Zayn, he got balls for giving Bron Breakker a title match, and people are like, "Oh, Bron Breakker's gonna win because Sami has no chance. Bron Breakker is just a beast." But Sami Zayn will put his Intercontinental Championship on the line against a hungry Bron Breakker. You know, all I can say is good luck, Sami Zayn. I'm a little hesitant on this pick, but you can go first. You have the floor. What are your thoughts and what is your final predictions? Oh boy.
Oh man, this is a tough one. We never really expected Sami Zayn to win against Gunther. We expected Gunther to just run through Sami Zayn, and that's exactly what Gunther was doing. Gunther was dominating Sami every single time, and it wasn't until that infamous saying that by Sami's wife, "You're finished," right? He told him, "You're finished." That literally lit something in Sami Zayn that made him. I mean, he pulled off the greatest. He pulled off one of the most amazing upsets in Intercontinental Championship history. He pulled off a huge upset against Gunther and beat Gunther for the title, which was very, very impressive. From coming from Sami, I mean, he was the real underdog in this match. I would say that Bron Breakker is a very tough and intimidating opponent. I definitely believe that he's going to give Sami Zayn a run for his money. His he gave Sami Zayn two spears on Smackdown. It was Monday Night Raw. He gave Sami Zayn two spears. One of the spears, Sami Zayn just leapfrogged over him, and man, this is a tough one. Um, Bron Breakker is strong. He is tough. Sami Zayn is tough too. He is tough as nails. The man can be. He put his body on the line, and he's a fighter. Sami Zayn is a brawler and a fighter. Um, man, I haven't really seen a lot of Bron Breakker's work. I don't really know what Bron Breakker is. I know he's tough. He's just all muscle. Um, he's not a very technical wrestler, but he will overpower you and mess you up. You know, by overpowering you basically. He relies on brute strength, and Sami Zayn sort of does the same. Man, I do believe that Sami Zayn is going to retain his title against Bron Breakker because he's not backing down from anyone. So I do think that Sami Zayn is going to be keeping his title at Money in the Bank, and that's my final pick. I'm locking it in. Um,
Gutsy, gutsy pick. Wow. So this is my own thoughts on this. So yeah, people are saying that, oh yeah, good luck, Sami Zayn. But if Sami Zayn retains, that's gonna be probably the biggest win of Sami Zayn. Well, I'd say the biggest win of Sami Zayn so far is against Gunther, but Braun Breaker, we're talking about Braun Breaker, like holy moly. If Sami beats Braun Breaker, that's like beating a Gunther 2.0. That's like one of his toughest. This is probably one of Sami Zayn's toughest opponents. So that's gonna be crazy. And this pay per view is gonna be in Toronto, and you all know Sami Zayn's from Montreal. Sami Zayn is from Montreal, but we can imagine that all his fellow Canadian fans support is gonna cheer him on in Toronto, despite him being from Montreal. He's gonna get a pop. Um, but this is the thing though. If you guys don't know, Evian Dragunov has a bone to pick with Braun Breaker. If you remember the last time those two faced off
mhm.
against each other, um, Braun Breaker viciously attacked Ricochet with Dragunov looking on, and Braun Breaker actually attacked Dragunov too. That was the last time Dragunov and Braun Breaker feuded. But since then, they haven't actually had any run-ins. So this is what I think. I actually think that Dragunov will be looking for revenge. I have made so many predictions in the past, and I was somehow 100% right, such as the Bayley winning the Royal Rumble. But I'm calling my shot right here. I might be wrong or I might not be. I think Dragunov is going to get involved in this match to get revenge on Braun Breaker. I think Dragunov is going to so I think the referee is going to get taken out or something like that. I think the referee is going to get distracted. I think Dragunov is going to sneak attack Braun Breaker at some point, costing him the match. That will set up Sami Zayn to get the win. So I just feel like Dragunov has some unfinished business with Braun Breaker. I just feel like Dragunov could possibly get involved in this match, looking for redemption after what Braun Breaker did to Ricochet. And look, I'm not going to say this is going to happen. I think Ricochet is done with WWE, but what if somehow Ricochet secretly signed a deal back to WWE and he's like 100%, and then Ricochet makes an appearance to get revenge on Braun Breaker? But I don't think Ricochet is going to show up. I just feel like Dragunov could possibly get involved in this match, knowing that he has unfinished business with Braun Breaker. So it might not happen, but I'm calling my shot. I think Dragunov is gonna get involved, costing Braun Breaker this match. Like it's like you take out my friend Ricochet. I'm not letting you win a championship. So there you go. Sami Zayn takes advantage, hits Braun Breaker with the Humuma kick, wins the match. That's how I think Sami's gonna retain. I'm picking Sami Zayn to retain, to beat Braun Breaker by pinfall to retain the Intercontinental Championship, thanks to the assist of Dragunov. I just feel like Dragunov has unfinished business. I'm locking my pick in. I think Sami Zayn's going to retain. What are your thoughts on, do you think that's going to happen, me?
It could happen. It could very well happen. Dragunov could definitely get involved and cost Braun Breaker the match to win the title. I could see that happening. I don't see
I,
Ricochet coming back. It's
yeah,
been said
I will
that
be
it's
surprised.
been
I'll be
quoted online.
surprised if Ricochet makes like a comeback. Like that'll be the
He's
ultimate
not coming
revenge. That'll be
back.
the
He's
ultimate
signing with
revenge if
AEW.
somehow like if that'll be the ultimate turn of events if it's Ricochet coming back and screwing Braun Breaker.
Well, Ricochet is definitely signing with AEW. As I believe Ricochet is officially done with WWE because he's such a great wrestler. He's so versatile, but he's not getting the push that he needs. He's not getting. He obviously has to go somewhere else to get that push that he needs to get to where he needs to be as a great legendary wrestler. I mean, a lot of wrestlers have that haven't had that push in the WWE like Christian Cage. Christian, he went to AEW and he's become a AEW World Champion. There's others. I'm forgetting his name right now. Swerve, who basically Swerve Strickland. He went to AEW and he became the first Black AEW World Champion. On AEW. I mean, a lot of these guys who went to WWE don't get the same push that they need to get in WWE. So they go to these other independent wrestling companies and they become successful. So I hope that's the case with with uh, with uh, with what's his face. So we have to see how it goes. Also, Nick Nemeth, Dolph Ziggler, he's having a great time in TNA. He's being very successful in TNA. So there's a lot of wrestlers who have branched out and made a name for themselves, and they're doing great.
Yeah, so I just feel like yeah, it's a risky picking Sami Zayn because all this wrestlers that Braun Breaker beat, but Sami Zayn's gonna be the one to beat Braun Breaker. But I feel like Dragunov could help Sami, because of the redemption. But we have to see what happens. It's just a risky picking Sami Zayn. But question is, if that happens, who's going to beat stop Sami Zayn? But the question is like, this is what I have to say. I mean, Braun Breaker could. I'm just saying, if Braun Breaker wins the Intercontinental Championship, Evian Dragunov is going after him for revenge. So we might see Dragunov versus Braun Breaker in the future for the Intercontinental title, unless Sami Zayn might step up and ask for a rematch. But if Braun Breaker wins, I can see Dragunov stepping up. We have to see what
Yep.
happens. So, but let's
Mm-hmm.
move on to the next match. We got a six-man tag team match. The undisputed WWE champion Cody Rhodes teaming up with his longtime friend Randy Orton and Kevin Owens versus the Bloodline. So it's any three of the Bloodline. That's what scares me because it's any of the three of the Bloodline. So it could be Solo. I feel like Solo's definitely going to participate. It could be Tama Tonga. It could be Tonga Lola. Or it could be Jacob Fatu. Oh my god, that's going to be crazy if Jacob Fatu is going to make his match debut in the six-man tag team match. Um, you know, but there are rumors saying that Jimmy Uso is going to come back and cost the Bloodline this match. We might see, I wouldn't say the return of Roman Reigns. I feel like Roman's going to return maybe at SummerSlam, but I feel like Cody Rhodes, Randy, and Kevin probably will get help. But knowing that Jimmy Uso kind of be pulling a Jey Uso, Kevin Owens might not trust him. Randy Orton might not trust him. Cody Rhodes could trust Jimmy Uso, I'm not sure. But people are saying that, oh, Jimmy Uso is going to return and help Cody, Randy, and Kevin. But we'll see what happens. But it really depends on which three of the Bloodlines going to participate. But it's going to be it's going to be an all-out brawl. These six men hate each other, obviously. Cody Rhodes, I mean, Kevin Owens been fighting the Bloodline for 4 years, so hopefully at one point he doesn't have to deal with the Bloodline. And Cody Rhodes once again is feuding with the Bloodline. Randy Orton once again is feuding with the Bloodline. So Blood, I just feel like this match is gonna start off with an all-out brawl, like always. I mean, it's a six-man tag team match. There might be no disqualification, but we have to see. But what are your thoughts and what's your final predictions?
Man, it's gonna be a tough one because yes, these guys definitely have a lot of history together. We're not the well, these guys meaning Cody, Randy, and Kevin all have history with the bloodline. But the new Bloodline members don't really have a lot of history with Randy, with Kevin Owens, um, and with Cody. And so these new guys that are there, it really feels kind of it's different. It's a different type of bloodline. It's a different type of feel for the bloodline. So only they've only known who the only person who they've really feuded with is Solo, and so it's gonna be kind of a tough one. But I mean, this is where things get interesting. The Bloodline took out Paul Heyman on Friday Night SmackDown. For Paul Heyman did not acknowledge Solo Sikoa as the tribal chief, and so they need a new wise man. And honestly, right now they are unhinged. They are a pack of lions. They are just will go and tear up anyone and everything until they are the undisputed um, leaders and dominant force in the locker room. And so it is it's kind of tough to see because bro, right now Roman Reigns, I don't see Roman Reigns coming back because Roman Reigns is dealing with family loss in the family with losing his father in old age. His father died. Um, so Roman's not going to be back for some time, probably until SummerSlam or maybe a little bit after SummerSlam. And so um, there's not much going on. Jimmy Uso could make an appearance and help Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, and Kevin Owens win against the Bloodline. So I mean, yes, he can. Um, but I feel, I mean, I don't know if the Bloodline will win. The
Excuse me.
Bloodline obviously needs to win more matches to make them look more dominant because they have been losing a lot of matches recently. Um, I probably, I know probably this is probably the unpopular opinion. But I don't know if Cody Rhodes is going to win. I don't know if Tonga Loa is going to win or Tonga or the other ones. Jacob Fatu is an X factor for sure. Jacob Fatu definitely hurt Cody Rhodes after he jumped off that top rope and hit him and jumped and hit him while he was on the table. So Cody Rhodes is injured. That is a fact. So Cody Rhodes is not 100%. Um, I don't know if they can win, honestly, because you have one guy that's injured, other guy is you have two guys that are fighting together. Randy Orton still maybe he's still recovering from his back injury. I don't know. Um, it's kind of tough to say. Um, I I probably am gonna pick the Bloodline to win this round. Um, because I don't see them winning. I don't see them winning on Money in the Bank. They have to win more to make themselves look more dominant. Um, if Cody wins and Randy and Kevin win, obviously that's just going to build the feud more. And we see a beatdown. Um, there's just so many things that could happen. But I'm picking the Bloodline to win. That's just from my perspective and my opinion. Um, I'm seeing the Bloodline winning
All
Money in
right.
the Bank.
So you're locking your picking. You're picking the bloodline to win.
I'm picking the I'm picking the Bloodline.
All right. So oh my God. Yeah, it's tough. But Cody Rhodes, he can fight. I just feel like Cody Rhodes doesn't give up. I feel like, it seems like the bloodline has gotten the code Kevin Owens numbers, Randy Orton numbers, Cody's number. But obviously, Cody knows how the bloodline operates. Beating Roman at WrestleMania, stuff like that. I just feel like it just because the last time the bloodline faced Randy Orton and Kevin Owens, the bloodline ended up winning because of the debut of Tama, or was it Lola? I forgot. But there's always been the bloodline has always been winning because there's always been distractions. There's always been another person of the bloodline coming to interfere. We've seen that. But that would be insane if another bloodline member joins. There is actually another guy that's debuting in the WWE. That's like I think he's Fatu's brother or something like that. Well, that would be insane if we see another debut in the Bloodline. That would be insane, but I don't think it's gonna happen. But I just feel like Jimmy Uso could return, but I'm not sure. But I feel like Cody, Randy, and Kevin Owens might get help from someone. I feel like someone could come out in even odds because we all know three of the Bloodline members are gonna participate in the six-man tag team match. But we all know the fourth is just gonna be in ringside and causing chaotic scenes and stuff like that. So I feel like Cody, Randy, and Kevin Owens might have a plan up their sleeve because they're literally six tag team match or not, they're in a 4-on-3 situation with the extra guy that's not participating in this match. So either way, I feel like they could have a fourth guy. That fourth guy could be a returning Jimmy Uso, but knowing Jimmy Uso can't be trusted. Maybe Kevin Owens don't trust Jimmy Uso. Randy Orton doesn't trust Jimmy Uso. Cody could trust Jimmy. I don't know. I mean, he gave Jay Uso a chance, but we have to see what happens. I feel like Cody has a plan. I mean, like I said, people are gonna be like, yeah, he said that when he faced against Solo, but ends up Cody didn't have a plan. But I feel like Cody does have a plan here. I feel like someone's gonna help them. But I'm actually gonna go for the opposite. I actually feel like the heart's gonna be there for Kevin Owens, Randy, and Cody. I feel like they're gonna have a great match. I feel like they're gonna put their yes, the Bloodline's probably gonna they're probably gonna dominate, but I feel like Cody, Randy, and Kevin Owens they're gonna put their team on their back. I feel like they're gonna get up. But I'm taking Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, Kevin Owens to win actually. I just feel like that they could get help from someone. I don't know if it's gonna be Jimmy, but I feel like Cody's gonna have a plan. Like I said, they're in a 4-on-3 situation. We all know that extra guy that's not in this match is gonna get involved. Is gonna get involved somehow. So that means Cody's probably made phone calls to see if there's a fourth person that's ringside for them. We have to see who it could be, or maybe not. Maybe you're right. Maybe the Bloodline will dominate, but we have to see what happens. But for now, I'm actually going to take Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, Kevin Owens to beat the Bloodline. It's just to give a little bit of redemption. So I feel like Cody, Randy, and Kevin Owens will get their revenge after all this time the Bloodline won thanks to interference or a new member joining. So I am picking Cody, Randy, and Kevin to get their revenge. Um, yeah, I agree
But
with you. I just not sure about Jimmy returning, but I'm still locking in Cody, Randy, and Kevin winning.
I do.
Um,
I agree. I agree that I don't see Jimmy returning just yet to help Cody, Kevin, and Randy. If he does, they're definitely not trusting him because the man betrayed he betrayed Jay Uso twice. You can't trust Jimmy Uso.
all right, we can. All
Obviously.
right, let's we can talk about that later at some point. But want to move on to the last two big matches. We got the women's and men's Money in the Bank ladder match. As always, it's up to you, Canadian Yorker. Do you want to start with the men or the woman?
Let's go with the women's.
Women's? Alright. So we got the women's Money in the Bank ladder match for a women's championship match in the future. So the contract in the briefcase. The way to win is to climb the ladder and retrieve the briefcase. We got some hard hitting participants in this women's ladder match. We got Io Sky, one half of the Damage Control. We got Chelsea Gray. I feel she better not fucking win, I swear to God. We got Lyra Vicaria versus my girl Tiffany Stratton. Please, Tiffany's gotta win. This is her moment right here. Versus Naomi versus a surprising Zoe Stark. So wow, hard hitting. There's a lot of end game for this, but hopefully Tiffany Stratton wins. That's who I'm rooting for. But what are your thoughts? And what are your predictions for this women's Money in the Bank ladder match? If you forgot who's in it, Io Sky, Chelsea Green, Lyra Vicaria, who's had a hell of a run on Raw, Tiffany Stratton, Naomi, and Zoe Stark. What are your thoughts and what are your predictions?
Man, this is hard hitting. Um, this is tough because man, I could definitely see Io Sky winning it again. Io Sky winning it a second time,
I
which
don't
would
I don't
it
feel
would be
like
unprecedented.
I just don't feel like Io Sky's gonna win because we've seen a little bit of a tease of the downfall of the damage control. Though we might see Io not winning and then causing more chaotic. Yeah.
Yes. If Io Sky doesn't win, man, it's a tough. It's kind of crazy because all of these ladies are good qualifiers for the for the win. I mean, Chelsea. We know you and I know Chelsea Green is not going to be the one fighting to get the one
Yeah,
to win.
Chelsea
She's going to try
Green's
to sneak her way up there.
Hopefully Chelsea Green's fucking fuck buddy Pipper Nivens doesn't fucking help her, like put her on her shoulder and then here you go, fuck that. I would rage if that happens.
Yeah, it it wouldn't happen. I hope that doesn't happen. I hope Chelsea Green doesn't happen. Lyra Valkyria could win, and that will be interesting to see if she wins because she just has been up. She right out of the gate has been lightning in the bottle. I mean, she was one of the finalists for Queen of the Ring, but she lost to Nia Jax. Lyra Valkyria could win. Um, Tiffany Stratton, your girl, could win definitely. She could I could see her winning. Um, and there's also Zoe Stark is also pretty good. She could also win too. I
And then
mean,
there's Naomi.
there is Naomi too. Yes, Naomi could win. Um, but if she wins, she would probably challenge Bayley for the championship or cash in on Bayley. Honestly, man, it's a tough one.
Because if you guys
So
don't
we got
know, if you guys don't know this, but 100% of the women that wins Money in the Bank has successfully cashed in. So there's never been any failed cash-ins on the women's side. The men's side, there's been fails. So just keep that in mind.
ah, ooh, wow. Man, it's a tough
Well,
the
let's do
women's
this. Let's
side.
just get like I'm not gonna share my. Let's just share our opinions. I'm not gonna like, oh, you pick your picks and then I pick mine. But I'm. Let's just like we're gonna make our picks right now. So we're not gonna have my. I'll just share my perspective, and then if you have anything to
Yeah.
say, but
Okay, go ahead.
I'm gonna first start off with Tiffany Stratton. This is a thing though. Yes, I want Tiffany to win. People are saying that she's still new. Fuck that. But it's like Tiffany Stratton has a feud going, kind of. Tiffany Stratton has a feud going with Bayley, so Tiffany could cash in on Bayley, which I probably would hate because I like Bayley too, but knowing the history between Tiffany and Bayley, there's some sort of, they had some, promos together, there was a little feud there, so that could be an option. I just feel like the storyline for Tiffany winning is because Tiffany Stratton actually have an alliance with Nia Jax now. So Nia Jax helped. Well, I wouldn't say Nia Jax helped Tiffany Stratton win, but I can see this happening down the road. I can see Nia Jax beating Bayley at SummerSlam, winning the championship. I feel like that could happen. And then Tiffany winning the briefcase. Tiffany tells Nia Jax, "Oh, I'm gonna cash it in on Liv Morgan," but I feel like Nia Jax could like betray Tiffany Stratton at some point in the future, and then active revenge. I feel like Tiffany could cash in on Nia Jax. So that could happen. I feel like that could be a way to go. I feel like Nia beats Bayley to win the championship. Has still have her alliance with Tiffany, who's holding on to the Money in the Bank contract. And then I feel like that would be crazy if Tiffany betrays Nia and Nia becomes the face. But I don't see that happen. I think it's the other way around. I think Nia is gonna betray Tiffany. Tiffany is due for a babyface turn, so I feel like that could happen. And then Tiffany could cash in on Nia Jax in the active revenge, and then Tiffany could be a babyface pop when she wins the championship. That's just my thoughts on Tiffany.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, I agree with you. I my mind is telling me it could definitely be Tiffany Stratton. That's gonna be the one that could cash in. That's gonna get the money in the bank. Um, it could definitely also be Zoe Stark, who's a close second to win it.
Yeah, there's a lot of
As money.
there's a lot of like, things that could happen. Look, as much as I hate Chelsea Green, She's probably one of the top like favorites to win. I want her for what? But this is my own thoughts about the Chelsea Green thing. So there's a storyline to it. If Chelsea Green wins, I feel like obviously people are saying that there's gonna be a rivalry between Bayley and Chelsea Green, which is perfect. Like Chelsea Green wins, and then Bayley holding the championship. I can see probably Chelsea Green cashing in on Bayley or whatever. But the question is like Nia. It all comes down to that Nia Jax versus Bayley match at SummerSlam. I mean, there's no really too much history between Chelsea Green and Nia Jax, except the last time I saw that, Nia Jax was whooping that ass. Thank you, Nia Jax, for whooping Chelsea Green's ass. But I just feel like that's the storyline to go. That could be just be Bayley retaining against Nia, and Chelsea Green could just easily cash in on Bayley because it makes sense. I don't think Chelsea Green would cash in on Liv because of the brand split. So that's my own thoughts if Chelsea Green wins. I feel like that could be easily cash in on Bayley.
Yeah. Um, this is a tough one
Yeah.
because they're all good candidates. Let's look at the track record. Honestly,
Yeah. Though we could win, knowing that Shayna Baszler could help her, like get involved because there's no disqualification. Plus, we've seen the return of Sonya Deville. Sonya Deville trying to win, wants to be Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark's manager, so we could see Sonya Deville possibly get involved and help Zoe Stark to earn their trust. So that could be something right there.
yes, yes, that could definitely
But
happen.
I just feel like Naomi won't win because if Naomi wins, how are you gonna cash in on your best friend Bayley? That just doesn't make sense unless Naomi turns on Bayley, which I don't see happen. So I'm crossing out Naomi. I don't think she's gonna win. I don't think Io Sky's gonna win for the second year in a row because we've seen her have like completely melt. We have seen Io Sky have meltdowns saying that Damien needs to change. So I can feel like Io could lose and just like lose it, and then maybe people are saying that Io might turn on Dakota Kai and Kyrie Sane. We have to see what happens. But I'm locking my pick in if you want to do so we can get to the men's ladder match. You already know who I'm going with. I just feel
Yeah,
like
lock
that
your pick in.
Tiffany. I feel like that Tiffany Stratton win's gotta happen. I'm picking Tiffany Stratton to win Money in the Bank. I'm locking my girl Tiffany Stratton. I just feel like that storyline with Nia Jax is there. Nia Jax is gonna beat Bayley. And then at some point there's gonna be a turn. Nia Jax is gonna turn on Tiffany, turning Tiffany into a face for the first time. If you guys don't know, but Tiffany never been a baby face in her WWE career, so this is gonna be the first time if she's becoming a baby face. And then I think Tiffany's gonna cash in on Nia. So I'm locking in Tiffany Stratton. How about you?
I definitely think that it's a tough one, and there's so many good candidates. Lyra Valkyria could be doing it again, making a miracle happen out of nowhere, winning Money in the Bank. Um,
I mean,
I
it could
definitely,
happen knowing that she has history again with Liv Morgan. That could be that could be something. But I just feel like I don't know. I just feel like Liv is just gonna be unstoppable. Like I said, it just like Liv is probably gonna be holding that title for a while until Rhea gets back. I don't think there's gonna be any successful cash-ins on Liv. So I feel like a SmackDown superstar has the better chance to winning because there's a more storyline for a cash-in on the women's championship. So
yeah, I think that the person that's gonna win Money in the Bank for the women is probably gonna be Zoe Stark could win. I could see her winning, and I'm gonna pick her to be the one to win a Money in the Bank.
you're locking in Zoe Stark.
I'm locking in Zoe Stark because she
That is
does
a
have
risk
history with. Yeah,
that's so risky, man. Like, oh my god. Like there's like
I
so
know.
many
There's,
options, but it's like Zoe Stark, there's no history between Zoe Stark and Liv Morgan unless there is, but it's just like if she wins, then she has to cash in on Liv unless there's a brand change. But I just don't see a storyline there. But if you feel like that's gonna happen, go ahead. I just feel like Tiffany's gonna win. But wow, what a change of event in this pick, man. I'm locking in Tiffany Stratton
It's
and
it's
Canadian Yorkers picking Zoe Stark, which is just a risky pick. I just feel like there's no storyline there. That's crazy, man,
you
for
got to
picking
pick
Zoe
some take
Stark.
some misstep.
Um, yeah, like have fun with the "Are you smoking crack?" comments. If Zoe Stark wins, I'll be surprised actually, but there's just like literally no storyline there. I just feel like there's no storyline between Zoe Stark and Liv because come on guys, if you win the Money in the Bank, if a Raw superstar wins the Money in the Bank, you have to go after your own brand, unless you actually go ahead and actually cash in on a championship that's not on the brand that you are on. But don't want to waste any time. Let's move on to the men's. Oh boy, this is a long video. Men's Money in the Bank ladder match for a men's championship match in the future. We saw Damian Priest win it last year. We got Jey Uso, Yeet versus Carmella Hayes versus Andrade versus Chad Gable versus LA Knight versus Drew McIntyre. And people are saying that this is going to be the match that's going to have the most interference ever. So let me just say this real quick why people say that. We all know CM Punk is going to screw Drew McIntyre. Done. We all know Logan Paul is going to screw LA Knight. So we all know that the Wyatt Six might screw Chad Gable. This is what I said. I said that Chad Gable is going to climb the ladder, and then the Wyatt Six music is going to hit, and then Nikki Cross is just going to be at the bottom of the ladder looking up at Chad, causing him to fall. That's basically what's going to happen, hopefully. And then people are saying that the Bloodline is going to cost Jey Uso. So, what are your thoughts on this? What are your predictions?
Oh man,
Yeah, there's gonna be interference
right
in
now the
this
bloodline,
match. There's gonna be interference in this match. Trust me.
all the heels are coming together to interfere in this Money in the Bank
Well, Drew
match to
McIntyre.
make sure that
Drew
nobody
McIntyre's a
wins.
heel, so basically he's getting screwed by a face. So
Well, it would be interesting to see
yeah,
if Drew
because
McIntyre actually wins.
people are saying since Drew McIntyre stole CM Punk's bracelet, people saying that AJ Lee is gonna make an appearance. She's gonna be hiding in a hoodie and then pushing Drew McIntyre off a table, ladder. Imagine.
Oh wow. Man, it would be crazy if that happens. If AJ Lee and CM Punk show up at Money in the Bank, that would be crazy to see that happen. That's just it's kind of tough to see. I don't see the Bloodline getting involved in Jey Uso because the Bloodline is now busy. They're busy fighting Cody Rhodes. They're busy fighting Randy Orton, Kevin Owens, and man, it would be crazy if they get involved and cost Jey Uso a match. But right now, Jey Uso doesn't want nothing to do with his family. He's staying far away from them as far as possible. Um, so honestly, Jey Uso could be the one to win the Money in the Bank. Um, Logan Paul is obviously going to get involved and cost LA Knight the chance to win.
That's gonna set up a match at SummerSlam. But that's the thing. There's gonna be interference, and then like Carmelo Hayes and Andrade is gonna be like, "Oh, this is gonna be easy. We're not gonna. No one's gonna cost us." So,
Yeah.
um, but here's the
Oh
thing with
yeah,
Chad
Carmelo Hayes is
Gable.
in it.
Chad Gable could win. I feel like Chad Gable could introduce Chad Gable. Oh, 100%. Chad Gable is gonna create a new faction. He's just gonna bait Otis and the Alpha Academy to help him, but then Otis is gonna go into that trap, and then the Creed brothers gonna attack Otis and Tozawa. I feel like that's gonna happen. I feel like Chad is gonna introduce the Creed brothers as his new faction, and then the Creed brothers and Ivy Nile. Ivy Nile could help Chad Gable as well. Um, that's just horrible if Ivy Nile turns on Maxine. They've been best friends throughout whatever, how long, but it's just that's gonna be horrible if Ivy Nile turns heel on Maxine. But it's gonna happen. The Creed brothers and Ivy Nile are gonna join Chad Gable. I feel like it's gonna happen. They could possibly help Chad Gable win the Money in the Bank contract, so we have to see what happens. But let's get our picks in because this video is long. It's tough. Drew McIntyre is not winning, but that could happen though. Drew McIntyre could win. CM Punk could try to screw Drew McIntyre but fail. But then Drew McIntyre might try to cash in the briefcase the same night. That's what Drew said he's gonna do. He wants to be world heavyweight champion the same night. Imagine if CM Punk screws Drew McIntyre in the cash in. That'd be horrible.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
That'll be like the Montreal screw job or something like that, like failing a cash in.
I believe that already happened at Clash in the Castle, honestly.
Yeah.
Um,
But I feel like that's gonna set up Drew versus CM Punk at SummerSlam. Logan Paul's definitely gonna screw LA Knight setting up a SummerSlam match. Chad Gable could win, but Jey Uso, man, people are saying that Jey Uso's gonna win it, but I don't know. Yes, Jey Uso has a feud with. Well, they say that Jey Uso's feud with Damien Priest is over. But I see there's like connection between Jey and Damien Priest. But if Jey Uso wins and Damien, I mean Gunther could be your world heavyweight champion. Moving on, and imagine if Jey Uso cashes in on Gunther. Oh my God. Um, so I don't know. I've been thinking about this, but I just feel like whoever wins the Money in the Bank might have a failed cash in. I don't know. Like Gunther's definitely gonna be hard to cash in on. If a SmackDown guy wins, good luck cashing in on Cody. I don't know how that's gonna work, but I don't know. It's interesting. This is tough actually because I don't see any like cash ins that's gonna be successful. Successful. I mean, Chad Gable could win and successfully. Imagine Chad Gable winning and then getting revenge on Gunther. Chad Gable cashing in on Gunther winning the world title. That'd be crazy. So,
yeah,
um, but to make a pick, yeah, I'm going with my original pick. I'm locking my pick in. I am picking Jey Uso to win the Money in the Bank briefcase. What is your prediction?
wow, you're picking Jey Uso to
Yeah,
win.
that was my
Um,
original pick. It like I said, it just doesn't make sense for either of these guys to win. I mean, Drew winning and then getting screwed by CM Punk might make sense, but that's just like they could do it that way. But I just feel like Jay could possibly. I don't know. I mean, if Jay wins, I don't think he will successfully cash in. I feel like there might be someone that could stop him, but I don't know. It might be I feel like Jay. A lot of people will pick Jay because he has the Yeet Money in the Bank briefcase. But I just feel like picking Jay is a risky move. But I'm sticking with Jey Uso. How about you?
I think you mentioned that Andrade and
Yeah,
Andrade will be
I don't
there.
think Andrade will win. I don't think Carmelo Hayes will win.
Yeah, Carmelo Hayes. If Carmelo Hayes wins, that would be a major upset. To see him win and get
Because imagine if
uh,
someone
a
like on
win.
SmackDown wins and then cashes them on Cody. Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, right now, I think Carmelo Hayes still has to grow as a heel. He needs to grow more. He needs to, you know, keep growing more and proving himself. Um, Honestly, I also agree with you that that Jey Uso is the most likely candidate for the win. I'm picking Jey Uso to be the winner
Like I
to
said,
get the money in the bank.
Drew McIntyre could win, and then CM Punk just screws him. A failed cash in that could happen. So, I mean, if you
Yeah,
want to pick Drew and go through that path,
yeah. Well, I could see Chad Gable winning, but we know if Chad Gable wins, Chad Gable is going to be cashing in on Sami Zayn. He's definitely cashing in on Sami Zayn to get that championship
but
from Sami Zayn.
the thing is, Chad Gable said he's gonna be the next world heavyweight champion, not intercontinental. So he might just be giving up on the inter and trying to go for the top dog championship, which is the world title. So we might have to see what happens. So you're locking your pick in, Jey Uso.
It's just there's a lot of craziness that's going on right
All right.
now.
So
We don't know what.
you're locking your pick in, Jey Uso.
I'm knocking it in on Jey Uso.
All right, so that would do it for Money in the Bank. If there are any last second matches that are put in, we will do our predictions for on the SmackDown broadcast. So any added match that we're gonna miss, we're gonna make our predictions on the Friday Night SmackDown broadcast. But Money in the Bank 2024, that's our prediction video. Thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, check out Canadian Yorker's channel and our wrestling channel, which is WWE Wrestling Bros. Both links will be in the description of this video. And we'll see you guys next time. See you guys later.
See you later.